College for me wasn't something that I thought was possible or was even in like my future when I was going to high school, because I sucked at high school so bad. My family actually told me that I probably should not think about continuing school, and that I should just get married and start my family and find a nice man who would support me because my grades were so bad. But I did find myself moving to Colorado, and there my uncle asked me, so are you going to go to college? I was like, well, what is college? Because I didn't know what college was. In my family, I was the first American-born generation in my family. I was also first generation American educated in my family. So what does that mean? That means that my parents didn't have any formal education prior to me. I remember coming home from kindergarten asking my mom to help me with my alphabets. And she would learn through me. And she'd ask me, okay, well, you tell me what this is, and I can try to see if I can help you. But realistically, she was learning the alphabets along with me through my kindergarten homework. So that's the kind of background that I came from. And so when I was asked this question from Uncle, what college I wanted to go to, I didn't know. I didn't know what the difference was between a community college, a university, or a state college. I just knew that I sucked at high school and I really wanted to become a manga artist so I didn't have to deal with people and I could just do what I wanted. But you know, my uncle was like, no, you really should go. Let's go take a look at a couple of campuses. And that's what kids your age should be doing anyways. When you're done with high school, you go to college. So I was like, all right, when I'm done with high school, I'll go to college. So when I went to the University of Northern Colorado, it wasn't a school that I wanted to go to. I didn't even, I mean, it smells like cow there. If you've ever been in Greeley, you can tell you're getting closer because it starts to smell like manure. Okay? And it's the trademark of Greeley, Colorado. It just smells like cow every day. But that was the first university that my uncle took me to go see, and that was the university that I figured I'd go. And of course, like my high school experience, my college experience was just as funky. When I first enrolled to the University of Northern Colorado, I was really scared. To be honest, I was 99.9% sure I was gonna get accepted because my grades were so bad. And when I got the letter in the mail that said they accepted me, I was like, whoa, you know, oh, maybe I can do college, right? First semester rolls around, I enroll in classes and I go, and they tell me I can't go to my classes. And this was like, I guess it was a really difficult time in my life because it made me feel embarrassed. It made me feel ashamed. I was already scared as hell to go to college because I didn't know what to expect. And then I had registered for all these classes and then I was told I couldn't go to them. So what turns out was that you need to apply to financial aid in order to go to college, because if you can't pay out of pocket, you can't go to school. And I didn't know that I had to apply to financial aid. So what happened was, in a rush, I went to the admissions office with my mom, and she was panicking. She was like, oh, maybe your grades weren't good enough, and they found out. And I was like, maybe they found out I really do suck at school, you know? And we went and we sat, and they sat me down with an advisor, and then they kind of told me, well, you know, before you can start your classes, you need to have financial aid. And then financial aid has to give you money so that you can go to school. So my first semester started off pretty rocky, but I didn't want to disappoint my mom, who had been with me along the whole way. So I signed up for community college. I figured, okay, maybe that school was just too far away from home. I had like 1,000,002 excuses why University of Northern Colorado wasn't okay for me, and that I'd go back there eventually and I'd make my parents proud. So I did community college, and when I went there, in Colorado there wasn't a lot of diversity. I was originally from California, where it was full of diversity. So when I went to my classes, I was the sole Asian person there. And when the teachers spoke and everybody pulled out their syllabuses and their books, I was like, what the hell are they doing? I didn't have any of that. I don't know what they're talking about. What is a syllabus, right? Everything was like a foreign language to me. I spoke English. I was educated in America, but here I am sitting in a classroom and I did not understand the words that was coming out of my professor's mouth. Okay, nor did I understand the actions that were going on around me, and I was scared, and I felt embarrassed, and I felt stupid, but I knew that I had to do it because I already invested so much money in this. Money kept me in college, guys. I was so scared because I was like, I'm in debt, you know, my parents can't afford this, and I took this on myself, and now I owe all this money, so I need to try to do my best. And so I faked it. I faked that I knew what I was doing. I faked it well enough to the point that I was able to get back into UNC this time. I did financial aid right, but I still didn't ask for help. And eventually it led me to academic probation. Okay. I faked it a lot, and I thought I could keep faking it until I make it, right? But you can only fake it so far, and then exams come, and then you realize you can't fake it anymore, right? Exams and finals come, and then you get your GPA and your grades, and then you realize that financial aid will no longer support you because your GPA is under a 2.0. And I teetered between a 2.0 for a semester, and I got really scared, and I didn't know who I could talk to or what I could do so that I could stay in school. All I knew was that I could not fail. Because failing meant that I failed my family, it meant that I failed my culture, it meant that what my parents' hopes and dreams were looking up to was nothing, right? That people like me could not do college. And that my younger sisters who had hoped of going to college were going to go down the drain with me. So I braved myself enough to go talk with one of my professors and ask, what can I do because they're going to kick me out of school? And then he told me, don't you have an academic advisor? It's like, what's that? Right, you're supposed to have an academic advisor when you first go to college, but I didn't even know what that was. So eventually I learned who my academic advisor was, and they told me, well, you know, if you retake this class and you do well enough, it'll bring your GPA high enough so that financial aid will support you again. And so that's what I did. For the next year, I worked really hard to make sure that I got an A in that class so that I would get financial aid again, so that I could continue school. And then right after that semester, back to academic probation. And this time I thought, for reals, they're gonna kick me out. I need to get my act together, and I really need to do this right. And I still didn't ask for help because I didn't know who I could go to. Nobody in my classrooms looked like me. The town smelled like cow. And I hated it there. I dreaded every day that I went to class. Sometimes I didn't even feel like it mattered if I went to class or not because people wouldn't even notice if I was there missing or not. But somehow I managed to get my grades back up again. And I thought I was graduating, right? So they sent me a little letter like, oh yeah, you can walk this spring with everybody. And I walked. But in my heart, I was scared as hell that they're gonna catch me, okay? And they're gonna take that degree and I'm not gonna graduate. And that's exactly what happened. I walked that spring, and then I got a call afterwards, after I had walked, and my grandparents were there with me too, at my commencement, and it was embarrassing as hell, and I was so scared, and I was so disappointed in myself. My grandparents sat in the wind. My graduation sucked, guys. It was outside and the wind was blowing so bad they just made us all stand and turn our tassels. that was my graduation. But my grandparents, who were like in their 80s, came and sat out there to watch me walk. And so I got a phone call saying, hey, you know, you didn't graduate. You're not going to get your degree. And I remember crying and telling my mom. It was so hard to tell my mom. I apologize. It was so hard to tell my mom that I didn't get my degree and that I didn't graduate.
And it still hurts me today because I saw the look on her face, but she was so proud of me, and she hugged me and she told me that it was okay and that I could try again. And that was the first time in my life that I felt that my mom truly supported me and that I truly tried my best and she saw it in me. And so it was only a couple of months that had gone by in the summer. And then I got a call from the admissions office. And it was like an angel had heard my prayers or something, but she told me, you know, if you retake this class and you do really well and you bring your grade up past the 2.0, you can get your degree. And so that's what I did. I registered for the class, retook it, worked my butt off that summer, and got an A in that class, and I got my degree. And that was my first experience in college, and it sucked. And I didn't think I'd do college anymore after that, but you know, as time went by and I started working, and I was like, you know, this isn't really what I wanted to do. And I thought about my college experience, and I was like, you know, it really sucked the first time, but maybe now that I know how to navigate my way through college, I might have a better chance. And so my second time in college was actually here at Minnesota State University in Mankato. And I remember that I decided I would do communication studies because I really sucked at it the first time, right? I didn't ask nobody for help. I was really scared to talk to anybody. And I was actually in Dave's class. And I remember I hated whenever Dave called on me because I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to talk to all these people. And I wore my orange coat throughout the whole semester. I'm pretty sure throughout my whole college career in communication studies. But I met a lot of really great people in the department. And they were all very supportive. And you know, if it wasn't for individuals like Dr. Sekimoto and Dave and Chris and Leah and everybody there, I don't think I would have continued education or do so well in public speaking. I'm only able to speak in front of you all today because I hated being called on in class. So dread it now, but you'll be thankful for it later. But you know, the second time in college, it was a lot easier. I asked for help. And I looked for people to find guidance. And I actually graduated with a 4.0 GPA and became commencement speaker. So although it was really rocky start for me, I tried it again a second time and it worked really well. And I would continue on to go to get my master's in mental health counseling because I noticed that it was something that was so needed with not just first generation college students, but just people in general. Life happens and we take that with us to class. So what can we do to better ourselves, to empower ourselves, and what can we do to give back to the community and help students do better? And so that's what I took with me to graduate school. And I graduated in mental health counseling with a 3.98 GPA. If it wasn't for that minus, that A minus, I would have had a 4.0, but you know, so it was a rocky road, but I learned my way to navigate being somebody who wasn't from a culture of education to being where I am today. And you know, although I don't like college much still, I do plan on pursuing my doctorate in the future. And so I spent the last 14 years of my life in college, something that I don't really like doing, but I do believe I will continue to pursue it. So thank you very much.